Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of club rugby. Many of you watching on Facebook right now, big thanks for joining us, and we will be speaking to you and giving our comments during the course of the show. But before we carry on, let's just quickly thank our sponsors for joining us. Big thanks to Hisense, that is on board with Cape Rugby TV as our official technical partner. Still lots of prizes coming from Hisense during the course of the year. Score Energy Drinks, they're sponsoring the Sevens. Remember, stick around, I'll give you a can of Score a little bit later in the show. And for those that are watching now, if you want to sort out your house and you need your paint sorted out, then Dulux Maitland at number 30 Kubrick Road. Now they'll sort out all your paint for you, from construction purposes to domestic purposes. And the fantastic thing about getting down to Dulux is that they will spec your entire premises, so you won't waste any money. They've got the best prices. Go check out their rock grip range. And of course, if you get down there, you fill in a little piece of paper, you might even stand yourself a chance to win a contractor's trailer where you can put in your tools and all your paint and everything that you need. So get down to Dulux Maitland at number 30 Kubrick Road. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Morgan Newman, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV.
How's it, Japes? Good to be here. Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a while. Where have you been?
It has been a while. I've been a bit on the road. I've been to the 2010s.
We went to the 2010s. All right, so, then we'll leave it at that.
Been busy.
Yeah, all right, you've been busy. Right. Folks, we were going to have Faisal Felton join us from Western Province Rugby on the show, but we've got the first prize with us tonight. Danny Jones, Western Province Rugby General Manager. Hello, Danny. Welcome back to Cape Rugby TV.
Good evening, JP. Good evening, viewers.
So we've got the first prize tonight.
Well, JP, I didn't say it. You
that's
said
up for debate, Jay.
Is it up for debate?
I'm not so sure.
I don't have to run away to 2010s or whatever this thing is. You must play for 10s is not a rugby game.
Who wants to go all the way up there?
I don't know.
You know, don't we have enough rugby in Cape Town?
I just want to ask though, is it being stressful at Western Province Rugby because Mr. Jones is losing a lot of weight there, James?
No, it's fitness.
Absolutely.
Fitness.
3 nights a week in the gym.
And that's then and
really, Mr. Jones?
3 nights a week in the gym and 4 weeks of flu.
Exactly.
4 weeks of flu.
4 weeks of flu.
Yeah, that sounds more familiar to me.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better? I know you've been a bit under the weather, but the doctor said you must stay off when you came back.
No, I'm feeling good.
You're strong now.
I'm feeling strong, much better, and raring to go.
All right. Big games this weekend. It was Villagers up against Violets over the weekend. We did promise that we were going to go out to Union Mill up against, they were playing against UWC, but that Super League B was just such a hotly contested game. Mr. Jones, Super League B has been an incredible league this year. Like everything's just derby matches. It's like you couldn't almost see the difference between any of the sides there.
Definitely, JP. I must say that you didn't know if Helderberg, Hamlets, Villagers, St. George's, whoever's going to win. I mean, I think they all lost to each other somehow.
Yeah.
And the league was only settled last week, and second place was only settled on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it shows you the tough.
Talking about this league settling thing, I mean, you should wait just for the record, to make me feel better. You should wait until you get the trophy in your hand before you say you're the winner.
Most definitely, JP. You know, a few seasons ago there was court cases.
I remember that.
DC cases. So yes.
People making banners.
Definitely.
I never saw Lewis Hamilton open the champagne and everything until he actually went through the
flag, until he got the checkered flag.
Forget the checkered flag. You didn't get the trophy until you got on the podium. Forget the checkered flag.
Still gonna wear his car,
the checkered flag is this thing. You're still in your car. It's a complicated process. But so we should really be waiting because anything can still happen. I mean, you never know. There might be a DC case. You might lose a point. Somebody might score a point. Anything can happen. The right thing to do is to wait before you make your announcements.
But we're quite certain this year that we've covered all bases.
You're very diplomatic.
So certainly this year, what you see is what you get.
Right. So by all accounts, most likely, if the numbers all add up, it does look like Marty's is going to walk away with Super League A titles.
Based on the log position, yes.
Based on the log positions. That's provided everything still works. And folks, in this world, you never know. Don't ever count your chickens before they hatch, because maybe that chicken doesn't hatch the egg at all.
And I just read this morning, there's lots of bird flu going around.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Your chickens better not.
Exactly. Anything can happen. The trophy might fall off the cupboard. Who knows? The flip side, of course, Morgan, is some of those teams that have now started working out. I mean, if you look at the likes of Villagers, they'll be very happy to go up to Super League A.
Yeah, it's exciting for them, because like we always discussed, it's nice to win Super League B and move up, but it's a lot different. It becomes a different story when you got to play at Super League A next year and got to stay up. So
yeah,
they'll be putting in the work, I hope.
Well, we did go out to Chaka Road, where it was Violets up against Villagers over the weekend. It was a cracker game. Both teams were playing for honours. Violets was trying to make sure that they stay out of the relegation zone. Villagers was trying to make sure that they get into Super League A. And so it was everything to play for on Saturday, and it turned out to be a cracker of a game. Let's take a look at the first half highlights and see what happened. Mr. Jones, fantastic game, big game. Forget the shenanigans on the side of the field, but if you look at that, a bit of a points difference, but great rugby.
Definitely, JP. I was at the game on Saturday, and I have to say that I was quite impressed with the standard that was produced. I must compliment the referee, Nathan. He blew a great game, and it assisted and helped the flow of the game.
Yeah.
The halftime score was, I think, 20-10, but I thought Violets gave a good account of themselves. But the experience in the pack of Villagers, that won the day.
Yeah. Bossy Clark, we're going to talk to him a little bit later in the show. He, again, putting his body on the line. Eighth man, got quite a bit of a record himself. Leading from the front, he'll be happy with that result. Not so much the points, but I'm telling you now about the fact that they get up to Super League A, and he can hang up his boots in peace.
Yeah, it's nice for him that he can leave on a high. It's just as I just said. All of a sudden, that same Villagers side in Super League A without Bossies, it becomes a different kettle of fish altogether. He's a leader from the front, puts his head in there first, makes the tackles, gets the first rucks. And without him, they're going to struggle in Super League A. And I really hope they can try and find someone to replace him, because with a guy with his pedigree and his enthusiasm for the love for the game, it's going to be hard to match.
I don't agree with you at all. I think they're going to have an easy time at Super League A. Village are going to go straight up there, and it won't be a problem.
I hope so for their sake.
Right, folks, let's quickly take a look at the results in at least the highlights from the second half. Still, the game continues. It was only a 20-10 lead for Villagers as they went into the second half. And at that stage of the game, it was still 50-50. Welcome back, everybody. Right, that was, of course, the second half there. So let's just take a look. Nathan Barry was the referee. Nukham Samaya from Violet scoring tries there, as well as Hakim Lani. Villagers putting points on the board with Junaid Christians. He scored 2 tries. Yanni Bester, Robert Searle, Joel Murphy, Scott Pitcher, and Chocho Mbovani. And as I said earlier on, Violets needed to win to avoid the relegation in Super League C, and Villagers needed that win to secure that promotion to Super League A. Morgs, just your gut feel around the match itself. If you look at the highlights there, I mean, honestly, I know there's a difference there. 42 points to 17, the points difference. But if you look at those fields, the two teams there, just from the highlights, and I know we didn't focus on the full 80 minutes, it still does look like those were two very good sides there.
Yeah, I mean, extremely closely contested, and if I look at the pedigree of play on both sides, I mean, if you look at the Violet side, there are a number of big names in that team, or big names, big club rugby guys that have been around, have played at big clubs, and I think the margin is probably not a true reflection of what the game was all about. I think Bossy will tell you that. We'll probably be the first one to tell you that, and just as a whole, the quality was really, sort of the proof of what Super League is all about. Super League League, sorry.
Danny, let's just quickly talk about the flow of the game, because clearly you don't get these kind of points in any game if it's stop, start. And I've been watching this year, and the refereeing this year, all the games that I've been to, I didn't see any games that were stop, start. It looked like the refs are letting the game flow.
Yes, JP, I mean, referees play an important role in the flow of the game and also momentum and those things. And I'm proud of the referees of Western Province. They do believe in the culture of Province. Province culture is play hard, play fast, get the balls to the wing, and play exciting rugby. And they have a role to play with regard to that. And so I want to thank the Referee Society for continually educating and engaging with the referee, and also, getting the referees out there, getting them to clubs, to engage the clubs around the laws of the game, etc.
One of the things that I needed, now I don't have all the information on this, but I believe that you guys are doing such a fantastic job because there were complaints in the past. Let's not shy away from the fact that in the past people were very unhappy with the referees, but the only way to fix that is through recruitment. You've got to train that, and I believe you guys are having some real success at the moment with recruiting in the referee space.
No, definitely, JP. The basis of recruitment is now the junior rugby program.
Yeah.
The junior rugby referee program, there's about 80 junior referees.
Kids there now, the schoolboys, the juniors play referee?
Correct. Yeah. Playing at school games. Obviously, as they matriculate, they will then move into the senior club rugby system, and then we'll have obviously more and more referees coming in. And from our side, supply is an important component. Yeah. So if we can increase the supply, it reduces the demand with regard to getting better referees, and then obviously the choice of referees improves and increase, and that helps the game. Okay,
on a slightly more serious note, now, do you have to be really intelligent to be a referee? Because I was hoping that if Morgan Newman hangs up his boots, he could become a referee.
I think Morgan will be a good referee. I spoke to him earlier to say, look...
I've spoken to Egan Seconds about this, and my fuse is way too short, My fuse is way too short.
What, are you lose your cool with the players?
Yeah.
In the game?
One chip, and I reckon I'll be more aggressive than the players.
Well, I mean, Morgan, it's like any person. If you become a parent one day, no matter what happens, you have to deal with the child.
Yeah.
So you immediately, when that happens, you become an adult. So I reckon when you get onto the field as a referee, you'll become an adult.
Right now, I am a referee's worst nightmare. Let me just put that out
Morgan Newman, right now, you are my worst nightmare. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with the coaches and captains from Villagers and Violets. Back in a sec. Right, welcome back, everybody. Cab Rugby TV. Little technical glitch there. Right, the ad's been playing out. Folks, we managed to speak to Nadeem McKenzie, is of course the coach at Violet, and we heard what he had to say. Let's speak to him, and after that we'll speak to Junaid Karim, Clinton van Rensburg, and of course Ashley Borsey-Clark.
Well, it was hard work today. We came short because we didn't work hard enough today. But in the future, hopefully we'll get there again. Today was a very tough day, and Villagers deserved to win. They played a bit of football, and well done to them as a club. Look, it's been a very tough season for us. I've only been in charge for the last 8 games of this club, and at the end of the day, we can only go forward from here. No matter what the results anywhere else is, at the end of the day, we need to go forward as a club. And we'll start pre-season early, and we'll get our squad better. and we'll work hard as a club. But like I said, learning curve this year for myself as a coach, and also for Villagers, well done to them for a good win, and deservedly if they're going up, well done to them. To all the supporters who came out week in, week out, through the cold, through the good, through the bad, we can only get better, and we will get better. At the end of the day, you learn from the bad to become better, and when you become better, you stay on top. Our goal is to get back here, and good luck to everybody being in charge of this club, being part of the club, to the executive and all the members, and to Cape TV for always coming out and helping us and supporting us. So good luck to everybody for the season coming, and well done to Violets, and let's keep going forward. Yeah, we'll be back on our feet soon. To the young fellas that's come onto our group, we're going to work harder to get to where we want to be. Good lessons learned. Let's move forward. Don't look back. The past stays in the past. The present is the present. Let's move forward. Thank you, boys.
Nadeem McKenzie, of course, folks, is the coach at Violets. Let's speak now to the captain of Violets, Junaid Karim.
Villagers was quite a better team than us on the day. We have no excuse but to blame ourselves for what effort we put in. But Villagers did a good job, and we fell short in a couple of areas. But at the end of the day, we just have to look up and look forward, and we just need to work harder and come back next year and just try and get out of a tough situation. But at the end of the day, rugby will always be the winner. No one is bigger than the sport. So we just come back and we will just work harder, that's all. This year was quite a hard season for us. We had a couple of difficulties, stuff that we couldn't get the ball rolling. So it was a tough season for us, but we will look at the lighter side of it. We will come back in November. We're planning already for November. So we're just looking forward. That's the main aspect that we can do right now, is to look forward and to build on the success that we built at Violets for the last couple of years. So sometimes you need to take one step back to take two steps forward. So I think in the whole, I think that's the way we should look at it right now. Firstly, I just want to congratulate Villagers on their promotion to the Super League A. It's well deserved. They had a nice, good season. And to the Violets people that comes out in the numbers week in, week out, I was going to say shukran for you guys for coming out week in, week out, supporting the boys, even when we are losing. We know it's tough, but at the end of the day, we will be back, and I'm sure that Violets as a brand will be back in the Super League A, and one day, if God forbid, we will be back, we will try and go for Super League A. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Cape Rugby TV, JP, for all the opportunities that you guys gave us, like which you had today. So good luck, and I hope we meet again next year. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much, Cape Rugby TV and Violets and Villagers. Thank you very much, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Danny Jones from Western Province Rugby, General Manager. Danny, for Violets, this is a tough scenario. A lot of teams, though, they're in the same situation. Doesn't matter what league you're in. Three are going to go up, three are going to go down. And over the years, there have been the same situation for many teams. They're going to have to go down and dig their way back up.
They will have to regroup, reflect on the year, what has gone well and what has not. Look, over the past 4 or 5 years, Violets has been one of the teams that have promoted every year. So it's not that moving up the ranks is difficult for them. They have a history that they can do it. But I think they have to reflect, and they have to realize that maybe better coaching, looking at maybe a more expensive game, playing to the resources they have, and being clinical on the field.
What does it mean for Villagers? Now, on the other side, of the coin, Villagers is going up, What does it mean for them? I mean,
Well-
we've seen some teams go up, some have completely crashed and burned, but other teams have taken full advantage. I mean, it was a few years ago that False Bay was sitting themselves in Super League B.
False Bay and Morgan's team, Hamilton's, also a few years ago were
That's
in
your
Super
team,
League
Wolves,
B.
Hamilton's, yeah.
Yeah, hey?
I
just have
come
to check.
onto the show as a neutral. I have strict instructions, Mr. Jones.
Okay, that's good.
Please,
He's a neutral party when he's there, yeah.
Yes, he is neutral. Look, Super League A
Yeah.
is a tough league to be in. And whilst I need to congratulate St. George's and Villages for being promoted, they know that St. George's were there 2 years ago. They went to Super League A and they dropped down. Villages was also in Super League A a few years ago and they dropped down. So both teams have experienced
Got a bit
Super
of
League
work to
A
do.
and they have work to do. I think they will have to strengthen their teams for next year. They need to look at second team and getting depth within the second team, because in the second round, when the July months come and the August months, you need to deliver, and when the injuries, you pick up a number of injuries,
Yeah.
that's when your second team players have to come.
So you've got to think strategically. You
absolutely.
got to know
Absolutely.
what you're up against. Folks, we also managed to speak to Clinton van Rensburg and Bossy Clark. In fact, we'll speak to Bossy on the phone in a second or so. But let's hear what Clinton had to say after the game.
Well, I've been waiting since this morning early to get the result done and to say that we're going out to Super A. It was always going to be tough. We didn't really need a bonus point win, we just needed the win. So that made it a little bit easier. But the whole week was about mental and just arriving and being switched on from the start and getting that W. No, it was massive. I'm so proud of the guys. The whole week was about mental. We had Luc van der Hofstad and we had a couple of guys coming in just to talk to the boys. We knew we'd be coming to a ring of fire with both sides having a lot on the line. But the boys showed a massive amount of character, and that sort of just got the crowd sort of hushed down, and we could play our game without any real pressure. So really, really great defensive effort from our boys, and that sort of laid the platform for our attack later on. No, for sure. From the start, this was our focus. Obviously, we want to get up and play with the big boys in Super A. It's not going to be easy. We obviously have a good foundation to build on, but it's not going to be easy. But today, like rightly said, the dust has settled. But I'm very proud of what these boys achieved.
Welcome back, everybody. You're right, of course, Clinton van Rensburg. They're at Villages, as we said, a very happy man himself. Bossy Clark playing his final game at Villages. Let's hear what he had to say on the side of the field.
Geez, I tell you what, it's a relief. I haven't slept for about 3 or 4 weeks. This was a serious potential, this and last week was a serious potential banana appeal for us. These Violet Oaks are, seriously, they can play. And you know what happens if the game gets loose and gets away from you, they can really take it to you. So we were lucky we kept it tight. This wind actually helped us in a way. And it helped us to pin them in the corners and stuff like that. So we're very, very relieved that it went our way. It's always good to have good support behind you, but it's always important to dominate with the forwards, to take the guys on up front and just try to quieten them down. It's something that we didn't manage to get right against another side that beat us this year, 2 sides that beat us this year. And it's something we got right last week, but Kales Rivers backs took it to us at the end of the game. So no, the guys are, I think, at a stage, some of the guys were talking about the President's Cup and what happens if we go up and what happens if we end second or whatever. I think it's just a lack of opportunity for the guys that haven't really played much first side. So I think we can use it as a bit of development for the guys, to give them confidence, to guys that have sort of missed out on opportunities or haven't had opportunities to play first side, to blood them and that type of thing. I mean, this year we've used our third team players, we've used some of our under 20s in our first side. So it's really been a club team, it's been a club effort. So I think this President's Cup is quite a nice way to reward the boys. Yeah, no, geez, shout out to everyone that supported us throughout the year, the sponsors especially, ESET, District, everyone. I can't off pat name everyone, but please accept all our gratitude and thanks for everything that you've done for us and helped us out with this year. I mean, geez, the boys really appreciate it. It's something that I can't say any more than what I've just done. I mean, geez, like it. Well done, guys. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, everybody. Ashley Clark there. And speaking to us on the line now, I'm not quite sure which pub he's coming from. Bossy Clark. Hello, Bossy. Welcome to Club Rugby TV.
How's it, JP? How you doing, man?
Not too bad, and you. Congratulations on a very successful career at Villages, Bossy. But I suppose before we talk about that, you guys must be thrilled with the win at Villages and going up to Super League A.
Just the relief is immense. I tell you what, one of the most hotly contested Super League B leagues, like this year was an unbelievable league competition and all the rest of it, I must say.
So, Bossy, we don't.
You must see.
Yeah,
sorry.
We unfortunately don't have too much time. We just wanted to have a quick chat with you about the fact that you're finally hanging up your boots. I mean, we've watched you play and contribute to Western Province Club Rugby and specifically at Villages when you had the choice of so many clubs that you could go to over the years. Just tell us a little bit about your thinking behind hanging up the boots and your time at Villages.
Oh, geez, next year I'm 36 years old. I think it's time, man. My time at Villages was, basically when I was about 3-4 years old. I think my dad used to play there. I know my dad used to play there. And we used to kick a little Coke can over the poles there on the main field now. It used to be the B field, opposite the pub there, and climb into my dad's double cab and sleep there. I think that was the biggest memory of, that's where my rugby started, basically. So I thought it would be quite fitting to end my rugby career at a club that I loved, and I grew to love the game.
Just, Bossy, and I'm obviously, I think we'll hope to get you on the show sometime. Best memory at Villages?
Oh, geez.
Too many?
Too many. Far too many memories. I think one of the biggest highlights was obviously beating Solarians in 2014. Another big one, beating Hamlets at Hamlets. I mean, that was a huge result for us.
Are you talking about the game 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. Also, making new mates. I think that was one of the best things. And playing against a couple of sides and getting a couple of phone calls on Sunday was, I tell you what a privilege. I mean, just.
Bossy, we're going to have to leave it at that. I wish we could talk to you much longer, and I think we're definitely going to. We're going to get you on the show, and we speak to you, I suppose, a little bit off air, combined with finding out about your history as a club rugby player. We know that you've put in the time and the hard yards at Western Province Rugby and at Villages. Congratulations on a fantastic innings, and we hope to see you soon.
Just thanks, chaps. I mean, just all I can say is it's been a privilege and an honour. Thank you.
To you and the family, the rest of the bosses out there, all the best, no?
Thanks, JP. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Danny, that's the kind of geest that you look for from a player. He contributes.
Bossy has always been a good player since his days at Bishops. Played Western Province, and then obviously he actually captained the SA Academy team at the Craven Week. I think Ish was also part of that team. But I must say, he's been a good talisman for Villages and rugby.
Yeah. Now, putting in the time, we've got a couple of players that certainly have played a couple of games for their clubs. I think at False Bay there are some players that have played more than 250 games. I know at Tygerberg, JB van der Ster has probably played more than anybody. We should do a countdown one day of who's played the most games, because JB, I'm sure at Tygerberg, has retired and come back more than some people have played games.
No, Morgan
Newman.
Morgan is almost 35.
Excuse me, Mr. Jones.
I'm only joking.
It's so funny because I mean, it's like if I look back at the amount of games that you play as a club rugby player, the number is endless. I mean, over 100 for Stellenbosch and then close to 100 for Hamilton.
Is that your record now? You at the moment you're on about 200 plus games.
Yeah, 200 plus games. Across Hamilton's and Stellenbosch University. So I mean, it's the club. Because back in the day, remember, it used to be we used to be 10 strong, but you play home and away. So plus you still go to the students tournaments and all these. Before you know it, you're playing 40 games in excess of 40 games a year. Yeah,
folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we are going to be chatting with the folks at Union Mill. We'll find out about the game that they've got against NTK over the weekend. We'll also speak to Danny Jones about the President's Cup. The fixtures for next year. There's a change in the league format, so I know we've been dying to find out what this change in the league format's going to be. We'll talk about that after the break, and of course the fact that the President's Cup is coming up, so it's not far away now from yet more trophies. And then of course after that, a little late in the year, it is the Sevens. We're taking an ad break. We're back in a sec. welcome back to Club Rugby TV. Heavy debates happening on the side. And this is one of the best things about TV and radio is the conversations that happen off air. All right, we're going to speak to Nolene Oosthuizen in a couple of seconds, and then there's a surprise call that we're going to be making also. Mr. Jones, let's quickly talk to you about the President's Cup format. We changed about 3-4 years ago.
Or next year?
Not this year, next year. It all changes now. Next year there's a new format.
There's a new format, JP, in that there's only one winner. The winner is at the end of. We obviously play for position.
Yeah.
After 14 games, the league breaks up into top 6.
So let's just start at the beginning. Still same 15 teams in a league.
15 teams in the league.
Okay, 15 teams in a league.
Obviously everybody plays everybody. That then gives you your position.
Right.
Those in the top 6 will go play for the championship honours.
Okay, so let me stop you there. So if you end up number 1 on the league, like for example now Marty's number 1 on the league, you haven't won the.
You haven't won anything.
You haven't won the year.
It's like the French top 14.
It's like the French
No,
top 14.
no, Morgan Newman, please do not confuse me. I get confused very
It's like
easily.
the French top 14. It's
French
like
top 14.
it's like the Super Rugby.
Yeah.
If you're in the top, the
yeah.
top just says well done.
Yes, okay, all right.
Pat on the back.
Well, you're actually then in essence playing for home ground advantage in the playoffs.
That's right.
Home ground advantage. Now you see, now you've lost me completely. You're already talking about home ground. We don't even have home and away games yet. All right, so let's just.
Same format, everything. It's just the top 6. I'm going to help Mr. Jones here, okay? In layman's terms, we're talking to so what's going to happen is there's no longer. The winners is no longer the league winners. The league winner will be the winner of the President's Cup.
Right. Okay.
The top 6, the top 3 will get home advantage in the quarterfinals. Top 2 home advantage in the semis, and team number 1, or the highest team on the log, will get home
for
advantage.
those,
difference, Morgan.
For those
The top
moms
6,
and dads
remember,
and aunties
the
and
top-
uncles
the
that are
top
watching.
6 goes there. Team 1 and 2, they buy the first week.
The quarterfinal.
They buy
Hang
the
on, let's just start at
quarterfinals.
the beginning. We start off with 15 teams in the league.
They all
We've
each
got
one
all
plays
sorts of
each
folks
one.
watching all around the country.
You're trying to do it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing it for myself.
It's a remedial class. for
Many of
ours
them
is to
watching
be a
for
teacher.
entertainment purposes, and some are not even rugby fans because they watch it for this glorious entertainment. So we start at the beginning. We've got a number of different leagues, and there's 15 teams in a league. And after they've played 14 games, in other words, played each other, you have a ranking from 1 to 15.
Yes,
Am I correct so far?
correct.
Right. Now you split off the top 6.
The top 6.
Okay.
They
The top
obviously
6
will play.
start
for
then
the-
with what you call the President's Cup.
Yes.
Okay. So it's that President's Cup once they've played through their various rounds, whichever the various anomalies with home games, but at the winners of the league will be determined through a tournament structured out of that top 6.
The winner of the league will be the winner, the person who wins the final game on the 24th of September, 2018,
Okay.
at Newlands.
right,
That
so-
is the winner.
So
And
now
the
let's look at that.
relegation?
No, but before we get to relegation, the top 6 is now split away, and that becomes your next tournament, what we are calling in Western Province the President's Cup. This President's Cup, explain that format to us now, then after that. Because now you've played your 14 games, now you go into the President's Cup.
Well, it's pretty much the same as this year, because the top 6 they play off. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5.
Okay.
The winners obviously, the lowest winner plays 1, the highest winner plays 2.
Right. Okay. So there's a bit of a knockout space.
Correct.
So now, just on the other side of the coin now, promotion relegation scenario. Tell us about the promotion relegation
So
scenario.
just before you go there, then the bottom 9, they all play also a knockout competition. They are divided into 3 groups.
Can we not call it the bottom 9 though?
No, I mean let's
Can
call
we-
it
let's call it-
the remaining 9.
Yeah,
The remaining 9.
the Magnificent 9.
The Magnificent
I
9.
like that.
they
I
play-
like the Magnificent 9. It's a
So
little bit
they play.
Yeah, make
You
them feel
could-
good. Make them
Yeah,
feel
no,
good
we
for
could
them.
have the
Well,
Magnificent
when I
7,
grew
but
up,
we're
there
on
was,
2
there was the
space.
Magnificent 7, but
Yeah.
actually the Magnificent 9.
Yeah, there we
no
go.
problem.
Yeah, Danny, you see, we're almost on the same page here.
There's 3 groups.
Yeah.
The top 3 goes through, and then the best 4th place, and they play off.
So when you're talking about the top 3, there's 3 groups. You're still talking about
3
Super League A, B, and C.
No, I'm talking
top
about
3 in Super
Super
in the
League.
division.
In each league.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that's it. Then, obviously, the question: what happens to promotion relegation?
Yes.
Bottom 2 goes down.
Right.
Bottom 2 after group stages.
Bottom 2 after
After the 9.
the playing off. After the 9 and all points are together, they go down.
But how does the 9 compete with each
Nice.
other?
They compete in 3 groups.
Yeah, the winner of the group plays against each other.
Look. It's simply like this. You have 7.
Right, folks, for those of you
10,
that are watching us right
15,
now,
you know,
you're of
in
course
one group,
watching
whatever.
Cape
But
Rugby.
don't worry about
Morgan
that.
Newman and Danny Jones are having a conversation on the side of the field here. We are going to bench them any second, and in fact, a few people have told me I should have a yellow card and a red card in my sleeve that not
No,
my
you need
sleeve,
the
but in
blue
my
one.
pocket.
I think the guest on the show should hold a red card to red card.
Yes, I know you
But
guys can red card
the
me.
blue one is concussion. So
Blue one is called yes, you can both.
You'd love
Okay, Danny.
that
So we've got a
podcast.
new format here. That's fantastic stuff.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you've got your top 6. You're gonna every team
Your
is going to play.
promotion 2 goes down,
Yeah.
and then obviously
Now
let's go
Yeah.
to Super League B.
Okay, so we've got that
the
settled down.
winners in Super League B, or let's put it this: the teams promoted to Super League B are the teams playing in the final of Super League B's Presidents Cup.
Right.
they
Okay.
immediately
That's fantastic.
Right?
Right. So now the
what
next
happens to the
question that
other-
we've got is I think we're done with the President's Cup
30
topic. Now
minutes.
Morgan Newman will take.
One quick question. What happens
No
to the
more
second
questions
team?
on the President's Cup. We've got 15 minutes
follow-
left. I'm going to get more.
They relax.
I got Nolene
going to this.
Oosthuizen on the line with us now. She's going to come through us any second now. It's of course a big game at Milnerton, and we have to chat with her. After which we've got a surprise phone call, and then we'll talk about the. If I can just get my crew to put the phone call through. There we go. Any second now. Game over the weekend. Nolene Oosthuizen from Union Mall. Hello, Nolene. Welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Hi, JP.
Are you watching what these guys are doing to me on TV?
Yes, I did.
Nolene, you've got a massive game over the weekend, but it's much more for fun. Milnerton up against NTK. There's a whole story that you've got more than just rugby over the weekend.
That's for sure, yeah. We've got a little boy that's been following Eddie, our captain, for many years. It's actually his mom, next door neighbour.
Yes.
And little Van Swart, he turned 7 on Saturday. Not Saturday, on Friday, the 25th.
Is that his name, Van Zyl Swart?
Yeah, Van Zyl Swart, and he's 7 years old, and he basically needs a hearing aid. He's got a disease, or for a better word, called bone anchor hearing system. It's a system that operation that they have to make for him, for a better word.
Nolene, you guys over the years, you've raised funds at Dunoon. You've had charity drives. You had the hydration day where you raised. You brought in
try to make a
water.
difference.
You keep making this difference. This is another opportunity for the fans and the players and everybody to contribute to yet another great cause. And it seems to me like you're endless with great causes. Just quickly tell us, for this weekend's game, how do people contribute for your game? I mean, we're of course coming to the game because we choose rugby games.
Yeah.
But because we come in the game, it's easy for us to give a few mentions in addition to the fact. So how do folks help?
What we're going to do is all the funds raised at the gate, we'll contribute that to his fund, and then from there we'll do donations. Let's call it by hat. And if there's people that
we've actually got a picture here of Van Zyl on that we'll show you.
That's it.
So so there's 20 rand at per person and 20 rand per car. And I see the kickoff is at 3:30 on Saturday. So Nolene, we are going to leave it at that. We will see you on Saturday. If any last words?
There's Hammy's fourth side is actually playing our fourth side as well, just for a bit of a curtain raiser, just to build a bit of more gear, as none of the other teams are playing. So, and then people it's on our Facebook page, and we'll put the banking details in there. So for anybody that's watching tonight, they're very welcome to donate.
All right, Nolene, congratulations. Thanks, very well done. We will see you on Saturday, and hopefully Van Zyl, who's looking for those Baha implants, will be on his way to better hearing shortly.
That's for sure. Thanks very much, and we'll see you all on Saturday.
Lekker, Nolene. Thanks. Best of luck that side. See you Saturday. Bye-bye. Nolene Oosthuizen. Right, folks, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, then all you need to do right now is SMS the word 330, the word Score at least to 33090. 33090. There you see it on your screen right now, and you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. We'll take an ad break, but before we do that, congratulations to last week's winner who walks away with a case of Score energy drinks, Nathan Balata. When we come back, we've got a surprise phone call, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight's Cape Rugby TV show. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV on the line with me now, Gareth Rowe from Hammies. Gareth, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
How's it going, JP? Good, man, good.
Congratulations. I believe you're playing 100 games for Hammies this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a long road, but what an honour, what an honour.
We got only about 30 seconds, Gareth, but everybody from Hamilton's apparently watching. Your coach, Nicky Viljoen, said we must give you a call. For you, are you hanging up the boots or do you keep playing?
Recently I had a little daughter, and her body is taking a little bit of strain. 31 now. Bossy was on there a bit earlier now, so I'm sure I didn't say 36. You never know, you never know. We'll keep it till next year, but for this week, what an honour to play my 100th game for such a great club, and just want to thank Nicky for making it happen, and the rest of the coaches I've had, and all my support, my family and stuff. Really, it's a real true honour to play 100 games for the oldest club in the country.
Gareth, we are unfortunately going to have to keep it short, but we just wanted to give you a quick phone call to say congratulations. Nicky Viljoen and the boys at Hammies are extremely proud of you and are feeling humbled to have that contribution that you've put into the team for so long. I've in fact got Mr. Danny Jones here from Western Province Rugby with me on the line at the moment.
Well done, young man, and I have it on good authority. Morgan says that you can have any drink for the whole of Saturday free of charge.
That's a given, sir. That's a given.
Well said, Mr.
All right,
well said.
Gareth, have yourself a fantastic evening, and best to the boys that side.
Thanks so much, JP. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys.
There you go.
Cheers, G.
All right, Gareth Rowe, of course, 100 games there. So many players have been putting in the games. Just quickly, some of the fixtures coming up this weekend. It's Hamilton's, as we spoke. They're up against Durban this weekend. It's Tygerberg. They are up against UCT. And this, of course, in the President's Cup now, folks. And then we've got Union Mill up against NTK, as we said. Vixer up against Primrose. UWC, SK Woomers, Brackenfell, and Belhar. So those are your President's Cup fixtures. Let's quickly take a look at Super League B's President's Cup. Helderberg and Franschhoek. Hamlets are up against Kales River. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the quarterfinals, Kraaifontein and Violets, Rangers and Belleville, Paarl and Young Peoples, and Hands and Hearts and Collegians. And in the Super League C President's Cup top 6 quarterfinals, it's Scottsdene and Belleville, Busy Bees and Alunga. In the bottom 8, Macassar, Hamadias, Kylemore, Wraithby, Strand and Elsies and Strand United are up against Young Stars. The Promotion League, this is where it starts getting hot. Blue Stars, Masiphumelele, Caledonian Roses, Manenberg, Rangers, and then Retreat and Blue Jets. And the Paarl League top 5 is Allendale and Paarl Rangers and Simondium and Riverstones. And the bottom 6 sees Albion's up against Young Gardens, Violets, Paarl against Parallel United, and Windmill are up against Young Standards, and then Blakes and Khayelitsha. It's all to play for. Mr. Jones, just a couple of words then about now we go. We've just finished the league. It's now President's Cup time. Let's just quickly clear one thing up. We're not playing at Newlands this year, playing at City Park, but the next few weeks, folks will be focusing on the President's Cup to win that big trophy.
We'll be playing on the 25th, Monday the 25th of September at City Park. At City Park. And the top eight will be on Saturday the 23rd at City Park.
All right.
So the reason why we're playing at City Park, we got the All Blacks test.
Yeah.
And we want to give the Boks the best opportunity to beat the All Blacks. So we want to give them a green mat at Newlands. And the way the Springboks are doing, we're going to beat the All Blacks.
I mean, this is something that I know a lot of people probably don't think about. The fact that we have a water shortage in Cape Town. The fact that you have to keep the track clean. Everybody's looking for stadium attendance. You need good broadcast quality. All these kinds have a factor to play, and it's maybe just a little bit of bad timing in terms of the President's Cup this year. That's all.
Yeah, that is as well, JP. As you know, all the curtain raisers at Newlands, under 19s and under 21s, are also not being played at Newlands.
All right, so it's not only for clubs. Yeah. Even the professional players are not playing at Newlands anymore. I'm talking about now, like you said, the junior professionals.
And under 21s, correct.
Yeah. Morgs, Super League, the leagues are now finished, but the teams are gearing up for this President's Cup honours. It's still something to play for.
Yeah, still lots to play for, Jepson. I mean, I'm extremely excited about what Mr. Jones just said in terms of what's going to happen next year, because, for teams like us that didn't manage to finish on top of, or didn't get the honours of winning Super League A, there's something to play for now. We still want to go out there and win Super League. I mean,
you're referring now to the Cape Rugby TV team?
Yeah, the Cape Rugby TV team.
In your neutral capacity.
The intensity at...
Mr. Jones, het jy gehoor wat sê hy nou?
Ek hoor hom.
I said we.
Maar ek vergewe vir hom, hy's 'n goeie kind.
But I mean, look, it's still lots to play for, and the President's Cup we don't take lightly anymore. There's lots of talk of teams not really fielding their strongest, but it's taken very seriously by us, and we want to go and win this thing this year.
Yeah. For the the last thing, of course, then the year after the President's Cup is going to be the Sevens tournament, the Score Sevens.
That's right.
That's going to be
as well as we also going to get the 29th and 28th and 29th. We look to score. 7 starts on the 6th of October and carries on until the 11th of November. And on the finals will be played.
So we've got at least 6 weeks of sevens rugby.
And then the 18th of November, we have that All-Star games. The Springboks sevens will be there. We'll have the All-Star teams. The Western Province sevens team will be there. We're hoping to get another international team for that game. That's the last weekend before the Springboks prepare for Dubai and Cape Town sevens. And then obviously on the 28th, 29th of October, we also have the Asapol sevens.
Yes, of course, that's at Stellenbosch tournament, and it's during the sevens you'll have one weekend where there's no rugby, and of course the All Black game that everybody has to take a break so they can watch South Africa beat the All Blacks, which is of course, and I'm sure the All Blacks will be playing in red. I mean in black. But there again, you never know.
JP, they will have to play in black because they'll be mourning their loss.
They'll be mourning their loss, yes, and we'll be playing in red because we'll be triumphing in victory.
We'll be playing in green because we'll be like the Sturf at Newlands.
All right, we're starting to make silly jokes now. It's the end of the night.
Make no comment.
All right, Morgan Newman, a big game for Hamilton this week, Durban.
Yeah, very big game. They beat us on home ground just a few weeks back, and we want to go and get one back. And I think intensity of training's been good, and looking forward to Saturday. Like I said, President's Cup is there for the taking, and we're working hard to go and win it. All
right, Mr. Jones, just hopefully from on your side, things keep going well. Thanks for joining us. I know it's late on a Wednesday night. Next time, if we're very, very super lucky, we'll get Faisal Felton out here. But I know he works very hard during the day, so it's a big honour for us to get you here, as a first prize. Although we'd like to see you here more often.
Thank you, JP. I will be here more often.
Jerome Parvater also said that he will be coming more often. In fact, I think you're sitting in his seat tonight.
No, he sits in my seat.
Mr. Jones was my manager for a very long time.
Yes, I remember. I did a bit of coaching together. You might remember where
he's very good at delegating.
Yes.
I'm sure Faisal will be here more than him.
Yeah, no. Let's see about that. All right, folks. If you're watching,
Morgan, pick up the jerseys.
Yes, Morgan picked the jerseys.
He was my jersey man.
Did he wash the jerseys for you? Did Morgan have to wash the jerseys?
He's spoiled.
Was he spoiled?
He's a spoiled.
Yeah. Folks, you're watching Cape Rugby TV. Remember, stick around close as you can. Tomorrow, we'll be talking to you more about the logs and the fixtures and results coming up over the weekend. So stay very close to Facebook at the moment, where we'll be releasing a little announcement there for you. And we're pretty sure that you'll be enjoying what we share with you on Facebook. In fact, if you want to stay close to your PC or your phone in the next couple of minutes, we'll be letting you know there as well. Morgan Newman, thanks for joining us on Cape Rugby TV.
Always good to be here, Japes. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Jones, thank you very much. I know it's late in the evening, and we really appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah, baie dankie.
Lekker meneer. Right, folks, that's a wrap from Cape Rugby TV. Have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. Remember, this weekend we're at Union Mill up against NTK, and come out in your droves because we are raising funds for a good cause. Have a good rugby weekend. Bye-bye.